The 1990 Royal Shakespeare Company version of Hamlet, with David Tennant as the star, is far more like a play than some of the other versions that we've seen. Take note of the set. It's one scene and is staged like a set. The shot composition with fewer cuts and fewer close-ups, including a one-cut soliloquy in which Tennant delivers Hamlet's first soliloquy directly into the camera.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet, so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister and our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with one auspicious and one dropping eye, with mirth in funeral and with dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along, for all our thanks. Now, follows that you know. Young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late dear brother's death, our state to be disjoint and out of frame, he hath not failed to pester us with message importing the surrender of those lands lost by his father with all bonds of law to our most valiant brother. So much for him. Thus much the business is, we have here writ to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, that he suppress his nephew's further march and threatening enterprise against our state. And we here dispatch you, good Cornelia, and Voltimand as our ambassadors to old Norway.
In that and in all things we show our duty.
We doubted nothing. Heartily farewell. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is, Laertes? You cannot speak of reason to the Dane and lose your voice.
My dread lord, your leave and favour to return to France, from whence, though willingly, I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation. Yet now, I must confess, that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again toward France. And bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, our cousin, Hamlet, and our son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much i' the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou knowest 'tis common all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam, nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play, but I have that within which passeth show. These but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father, but you must know your father lost a father. That father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persever in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. I pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father, for let the world take note. You are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and I beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers. Hamlet, I pray thee stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, it is a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart, in grace whereof no jocund health that Denmark drinks today, but the great cannon to the clouds shall tell, re-speaking earthly thunder. Come, away.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt. Thaw and resolve itself into a dew. And that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter, oh God. God. How weary, stale, flat and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie. 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this, Hyperion to a satyr. So loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly, heaven and earth. Must I remember? Why, she would hang on him, as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month, let me not think on frailty, thy name is woman, a little month. Or ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body, like Niobe, all tears. Why, she, even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with my uncle. My father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules within a month. ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. Oh, most wicked speed to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
One thing I noticed about the depiction of Gertrude in this particular version is that her concern for Hamlet just seems to me written on her face like fear. Like she's afraid of something, like, don't mess this up for me, Hamlet. I really like that aspect of her portrayal. One of the things that they obviously do in this is Tennant's delivery of Hamlet's soliloquy directly into the camera, breaking the fourth wall. It's something that is kind of brave in terms of television or movies. We don't see it very often, and sometimes it's pretty corny, other than, like, say, perhaps in House of Cards. We see that now as something that has been done. But in previous years, it's just something corny, like Saved by the Bell, looking directly into the camera and addressing the audience directly. It's something that is, it's kind of different and maybe a little bit brave for them to do it that way.